Alright, hey guys, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. If you're watching right when I post this, but hope everyone's doing well. And I'm gonna go through how I took my trades today. Today is November 8th, and I woke up around 6:20, but started to get ready for school, so I didn't start trading till like probably 6:50, 6:45. So as you can see, I traded on the 5 minute chart. I'm on the one. I kind of just scroll so that like whatever down here didn't really matter. So before I start like playing the stock market, I always come back here and see if there was any spikes or if there was any what's it called? So if there was any supply or demand zones, which there's a demand zone right here because you can see off this big candle right here. Um, you could see that it jumped up, right? So this means that there's demand at this price. So at this price, there is a big portion of there's a lot of people that would want to sorry notifications that would want to buy at this price, right? So that caused a spike. So off of this candle right here from the top to the bottom wick. So say there was like a wick. So this is called the candle, and then there was a wick. All right. So say this was it. It would be like this right here. It would be from say right here to right here, and then it would come across, right? So that's how that would be, right? So that's why I drew it like that right here. And then as you can see, there's a big sell-off off of this green after this red candle, right? So I drew it on this red candle. So boom, boom, right? And honestly, I could have drawn it right here. I could have drawn this one over here, but I just kind of like to go off of it's honestly the stock market is very weird because imagine I would have drawn it right, say on this one. It still would have wicked it, right? And I still could have had this. Oh, I think it's going to go up from here, right? But, I mean, it's like half luck and half real knowledge. So I drew it off from right here, and as you can see, we came down, and it kind of worked out, right? And then up here, I drew it off this one, and it kind of worked out again. So, whatever. So once I draw these lines, I come right here, and I look, okay, is there any points where it touched multiple times back here? Okay, it touched 1, 2, almost 3, 4 times. So almost 4 times, right? Because this one didn't really touch. And then on the same side right here, 1, 2, 3, and then that's pretty much it, right? So then I come over here and say, all right, the market came down off of this. So I usually let the market play out for the first 10, 20, 30 minutes before I actually get into it. So say the market opens at 6:30 if you're in a Pacific Central Time or Pacific Standard Time. Always gets messed up. It came down right here, right? So I kind of just let the market play out, and I saw, hey, so it came down into the supply zone or the demand zone over here, right? Demand, right? And so I didn't go over supply zone. Supply means that there's too much supply because no one wants to buy at this high of a price, driving the price down back to this spot where everyone wants to buy it at, right? Which you can see happened right here. So we saw this go down because it was in a supply zone, which means no one wants to pay that high price for it. So everyone sold, it went down, and everyone wants to buy right here, right? So then it came up, and as you can see on a lot of big moves, there's sometimes something called a fair value gap, all right? This is a fair value gap because the bottom of this candle wick there's a space from the bottom of this candle wick to the top of this candle, right? And if there was a candle wick, it would have to be smaller, right? It would just be in between the two right here. So you go off of this candle, skip this candle, and where's this candle at, right? So as you can see right here, there's no fair value gaps until right here, all right? All right, so I drew a fair value gap, and as you can see, when I was watching the market was coming up, just barely passing the fair value gap. We're getting into it and saying, no, we don't want to pass this, right? And so I end up getting into calls on this candle. As you can see, it went up, wicked it. I was up a ton, didn't sell. It came down right here and opened red. It ended up going a little bit more. I sold for like a $3 profit, as you can see on my TikTok, if you guys watch my TikTok. And then it came back down. I was like, okay, I don't really know what's going to happen, right? So that it came back, started struggling at the fair value gap again. And once it broke through, I got into calls, right? So I got into calls. It broke through. It closed right here. All right, it closed right there, right? And then it opened right here. And I saw super strong buying power. So then I said, okay, we're going to go up. So I ended up buying calls right around here. and then selling them up here. As you can see, the candle wick comes way up here. I ended up selling near the top, right? And as you can see, once we play through one of these zones, it becomes irrelevant, because it used to be a position where people said, I don't want to buy it for that much, I want to sell it because this is too high, right? Why would I buy it at this price when I could buy it at this price? So that means that people are willing to buy it now at this price, right? So this supply zone is irrelevant. If I can delete it. Oh my gosh. All right. So this supply zone is now irrelevant. This demand zone still stands though. All right. So now we mooned up, right? Blah, 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 moon, whatever. And right here, there's ways to tell like when you should get out of the market, right? You can either use like some EMAs and use your own personal strategy. You know, you can watch a YouTube video. Me personally, I use support and resistance levels. So these levels right here would be typically where I would get in and out. And I had some levels that I drew here on my other laptop or my other computer at school, but I guess they didn't transfer, so they're just not on here, right? But this was a big level right here. These were big levels right here that I've had in the past. So like that, boom. And by the way, guys, whenever I start in the morning, I always delete my stuff. So I remove 7 drawings and 0 indicators, right? I just remove everything. So I hop on here with a naked chart. So now we see we hit this level right here, 385.12, and then we came down a little bit and then had a green candle, but then more red, right? So I said, okay, this is now a supply zone because no one wants to pay this high price, so they're driving the price a little bit down. And then I said, okay, right here, I actually bought calls right here. Or no, I didn't buy calls, but if I was going to get into the market, I would buy calls right here because we broke out of a supply zone, meaning that people are willing to buy it now at this price, and it should go higher, right? But it didn't. So once I saw that this came down and reversed, I knew, okay, yeah, since it reversed down below the supply zone, now I know we are going to drop, right? So got rejected. I didn't get rejected. It kind of went through like a false breakout type of thing, but came down right here. This one had a strong selling pressure, so I knew that this was going to continue down, right? It started knifing, right? And then as you could see right here, the same fair value you got from earlier, earlier it was resistance, so it was resisting going up above it. Now it was support. It was supporting it so it wouldn't go below, right? And let's see how this played out. Not very well, right? This demand zone didn't play out very well. But as you can see, yeah, so it kind of supported right there, came back up, but retested, and just kept falling. And then if you keep going across with this, you can see more resistance, right? It came up, broke it, but then came back down and kept going. So it's just small things that you learn in the market over time, guys, that just allows you to make educated guesses, right? Because earlier in the morning, right, I drew these lines, and look how they correlated right here. So literally it came up, retested this level, and then just continued right up, right? So the market makers, right, you're never going to be good, you're never going to be profitable in the market unless you can understand there's people who have a lot more money than you who are manipulating this market daily. So if you can understand where they're going to drive the market to try to steal as much money from people, that's when you're going to understand how to make money. It's not about knowing what to do. It's literally just following what the bankers are going to make the market do. So if you can understand that the bankers are going to buy a bunch right here so that everyone thinks that from this point it's time to buy calls, right? Which it was, but see how they went below it, so everyone thinks we're going to drop below this level. You have to understand that the bankers do that on purpose, you know. And so they come up right here, and then as you can see at this supply zone up here where I had drawn, it came down off that, right? So everyone thinks, okay, we're gonna buy calls at this level right here, at this exact level where my what's it called, my cursor is, and we're gonna have our stop losses somewhere around right here, right? And so you see how these guys wick it, boom, just barely wick it. They don't close but that low, but they just wick them so that their stop losses hit, right? And it creates a bunch of liquidity, because like, so in order for these big bankers to buy stocks, there has to be people selling them, you know. They can't just go out and buy a bunch of cars if there's no one selling cars, right? There has to be people selling the cars. So they come down wicks at stop losses, which means a bunch of people are selling their stocks, And then what happens? They just start buying it all up, and then they act like they're gonna resist here and keep falling, like it's a retest. But no, because a lot of people would say, "Oh, I think it's going to go down, retest, and continue down." No, they resist it and act like they're going to send it farther down, but in reality, they're just trying to get more people, more entries, right, to buy more. They start buying more, and then what do you know? They make so much money right here, and then what do? They consolidate it. They act like they're gonna break out, so that everyone buys calls, and then everyone has to sell, and because it doesn't break out all the way, and look what happens. The market makers who made all this money, they have to get out of their positions now, right? So they have everyone consolidating. Oh, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Buy, sell, and they just start selling everything, right? Sell, 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 sell. They have people think we're gonna buy, getting a little bit better. Sell, 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 sell. Hey, would you look at this? This is a great buying opportunity for these big money makers, right? Oh, we want to buy it all up, right? All right, and then after market, obviously, not much can happen after market for the most part. But yeah, that's kind of what my thought process was today, guys. If you are in the Discord, I'm gonna read it exactly right now for you guys, or I'll actually just do this. Discord, right? All right. So if you go to Stock Talk this morning, I was talking in it, and where is it? So, good morning, Philadelphia, right? Good morning. So BOS on the daily, let's get it. Sends his chart, bullish or bearish on SPY. Bearish is closed below the 90 MA. It'll probably hold 375 though, right? So everyone's saying, they think it'll be bearish. And guess what I say? I say I'm not looking at my chart yet. I'm going to let it play out a little bit, and I'm going to go and draw my supply and demand and my support and resistance, right? So this is my resistance, and this is my support, or vice versa. I don't remember which one is which. But I said looking like we'll go up from here, right? Because I saw it come down, and it rejected that, right? It didn't want to go below that. People still thought this was a great position to buy at. So ascending triangle too, so it could go either way. And by the way, guys, I'm not trying to make these guys look bad or look like they're wrong in any way. I'm just showing you guys the power of just using supply and demand simply based off what you see in just today, right? You don't have to look back in the past. So it came up, look how much it bounced, right? That's crazy. Almost like I said that would happen if we break 381.03. We're mooning pullback. I think we're still gonna pray. So see how it kind of the candle wick is way up here. That means that the stock was up here at one point, but now it's right here. So 381 is about at the top of this supply zone, and I knew if we can break the supply zone and hold above it, we're just going to go to the moon, right? We're going to the moon because that's just how it works, right? Not always. It's not always going to work like that, but from my experience, a lot of times it happens that way, right? I would still wait. It's early in the day because this could be a bull trap. I said, yeah, it's really struggling around that 381 level. As you can see right here, I was saying really struggling right there. I said if we hold for 10 seconds, we'll go up more. I'm out at 381.5. 381.5 was right down here somewhere, right? So I said quick scalp, I'm out. I was down $75 because I was getting ready for school at one point of the day. As you know, I talked about this in my TikTok, and ended up being $16 in the green, right? So he said, yes, I said, yeah, I should have posted this in P&L because I like people to post their stuff in profit and loss so it doesn't pictures take up a lot of space, and I want this to be strictly conversation about stocks. And so as you can see, we broke out really well above that 381 level, and as you can see, I just said 381, sent a picture like just showing, I kind of said this, making its way back down. I said, is it though? Not sure. Stop loss hit, so I got out. Okay. Wow, I'm driving, but wow. So buy the rumor, sell the news type of day, right? Everyone was really scared, and then once you get it, because election day, right? So everyone was like, oh, what's gonna happen? We're gonna buy it up, and then you kind of know what happened after that. Market fell. So I said if we buy above 3, or if we stay above 383.63, I see us going to 387.87 or 384.87, right? And I'm just in school chilling, right? Doing my schoolwork. But what do you know? 384.87, right? If we stay above 383.63, I see us going to 384.87. So realistically, right here, if we would have hit like 388 right here and then held above it, like 383.8. I would have bought calls and sold them at 384.87. That would have been my take profit right there, right? Why? Because these levels right here, they're telling me where they want to take, or where the market makers are going to take the market, right? So we kind of just talked about some stocks, right? And then right here, I said, anyone else bearish here? If we close, oh, hold on, go up here. So I already had sold at this point. I was just charting for more practice, right? I said if we close below 384.3 on the 5-minute, we'll see a reversal. If not, we may consolidate or keep pumping. Personally, I'm pretty bearish here, right? So I didn't like this. I thought it was just going to be pretty bearish right here. And I said, anyone else bearish here? If we close under we close on the 5-minute under 384.06, say buy to SPY. 384.06 is holding really strong. So, you know, these messages aren't right after each other, right? As you can see, 9:15 a.m., 9:18 a.m., 9:22 a.m., 9:23 a.m. So they're kind of spread out a little bit. So I'm kind of watching the stock market and seeing saying what I see while I'm watching the stock market in the Discord, right? So anyone else bearish here? If we close under the 5-minute, under 384.06, say buy to SPY, and that level was holding really strong, right? So every time it would come down and touch, come down and touch, come down and touch, it didn't want to go past it, right? It just did not want to. So that's weird. I don't know who that is, I promise. So could see a reversal to the upside, but if we break, we will fall. Like, we will fall, right? So close above 384.66 and we could beat previous highs. That's really weird. Bulls look weak, but if we break 385.12, we'll see 385.55, right? So if we would have went up, then that's what I was targeting. But if not, I was looking down, right? So I kind of start talking about school right here. And what do you know? SPY started knifing. I said I was in class, whatever, below 383.31, and we can close red today. Just dropped, the SPY dropped $4, while I'm down $2. 2 more to go. So it's boom, down, down. This guy ended up making crazy bank, right? 41%. And yeah, that was kind of it. But let's go to the market and see what time was this at. So I said this at 10:30 a.m., right? I sent the picture at 10:33. Let's look at where the market was at that time. So 10:30 is right here. So we were still, you know, we go closer in. It's just so hard to work on a laptop, but I'll do it for you guys. So right here. So at 10:30 would be this candle, right? So I said we had dropped, say at the end of the candle, we're at 381.53, and that was down from 384.52. So that's already down like $3. And I said we could go down $4, right? Just because I know that these supply and demand zones are still down here and there's nothing really in between from the day, right? So let's see how much we actually ended up going down. So from where I said we could probably go down, so at 383.06 or 384.06, I think, yeah, so 384.06 right here. So right here, this is when I knew, right, it was going to tank, it was going to fall. So let's see, from 384.06 down to where it bottomed off. That was a $6 drop, or a $5.50 drop, right? So simply just using what I knew from today, I didn't have to use a weekly bias or a daily bias or anything. I didn't use any bias. I used simply what the chart gave me right here, supply and demand. So the demand zone down here, supply zone, right? To know that from this demand zone, everyone wants to buy. If it breaks through the supply zone, it's going to continue higher, right? And then you kind of just have to see. You have to, if there's nothing from yesterday, you're going to have to go back, you know, 5 day, 1 month, or like 1 week, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to find these levels that are in between here. Because I wasn't determined enough. I was already out of my player back here, so I didn't really have to look for entries or exits right here because I wasn't in anything. But once we got up here, we hit my level that was pretty strong resistance. I knew, okay, so let's move down a little bit. We're gonna go down. Here's our supply zone. No one wants to buy off that, right? I made this supply zone when I was down here, right? I'm not making the supply zone right when this candle forms. I'm waiting for the market to play out and play off of, you know, after the market plays out, okay, this is what I think it's going to do now because off of what it played out, right? And then now it's coming up back into the zone. as a retest. Okay, is this a retest? Are we going to keep falling from here, or are we going to break out and, you know, reach higher highs, which is up here at 385.55, which is what my target would be if it were to break this level, right? That'd be a 40%, that'd be a 40-cent gain, and then, you know, who knows how much higher it could have went, because I didn't have my levels there. But then, you know, we broke below, which this was a supply zone, right? So when we break below a supply zone, it's very likely that we'll fall very low. So then I kind of just knew, you know, our next demand zone where we could possibly see a big buying opportunity would be way down here, which did happen, right? So it came down, wicked it right here. This is the wick, right? And then the next candle was up here. So it went down all the way to 379.92, which was a demand zone, and then came up here to the top of the wick was 380.85. So that's like almost $2, right? That it went up, but it was struggling this fair value gap still from back earlier, and then continue to fall, right? So simply using these levels, you could literally understand what the market will do, guys. It's not rocket science. You just have to sit down and study and really understand. You know, you have to watch this market. You know, you can't get into anything without just watching it and watching how it behaves, right? So whenever I first started trading stocks, I would get into something and I would turn my phone off. That's not what you have to do. You have to get into something. You have to watch the market play out and watch what it does, right? And you have to be on a high enough time frame, the 5-minute chart. The 1-minute chart gives so many false breakouts and false bear traps and false bull traps, right? It's all of that. The 5-minute eliminates all of that for you and just allows you to see, okay, very consistently, where is the market going? And if you need to look for levels, like up here, whenever we pumped, right, I have no levels right here. I may have to go to the 3-minute, the 1-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 45-minute to find some levels in here where we could see resistance or support. But really, man, I literally wake up, delete everything off, find my value, or find my supply and demand, some support and resistance, and I play off of that, right? I only take one trade if necessary. If I need to take 1 or 2 more trades, I will. But I mean, I don't like to, right? I like to get my play in, understand why I took that play, and then I'll go back and say, okay, was this actually a good play or was it luck, right? And I think that everyone should be doing this, right? So I say, okay, I traded off this supply zone, right? Was that even a good play? Like, did these wicks down here, could I have thought that was going to go down from there? I mean, I could have if it would have actually closed below this, right? But it didn't close below, which led me to believe that we were bullish until up here where it closed below, right? Closed below. Tried to retest, but didn't quite break out to my level, right? And then broke down. And I mean, I really hope you guys are following on this. I'm just about done, about wrapping it up here. But I hope you guys understand kind of what I'm saying, and I'm not just kind of talking in circles, right? Because for some people, like, this sounds like a new language, right? And for some people, I sound stupid, right? But I'm just hoping you guys can follow and kind of understand and grasp, you know, why I take my trade, why I take my trades, and, you know, kind of what I look for, right? And hopefully you guys can replicate it and be profitable. You know, I'm only paper trading. I'm telling you guys, this is not real money, and I'm doing this so I can learn more and so I can teach more, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Hopefully I gave you guys a really good understanding, and hopefully I didn't just talk in circles the whole time. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the comment section, or just go into the Discord and text or call me directly, and I could either make a video on it or we could hop in a one-on-one and I could walk you guys through it. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I appreciate everyone who watches these videos, and everyone who's in the Discord, and everyone who follows the TikTok, and everyone who kind of adds to the community. I'm hoping to bring a lot of value to you guys' lives, whether it's making money or skills, or, you know, mental health, anything, you know, I can help out with you guys. I really hope that, you know, I'm able to do that for you guys. But yeah, that's going to be all for today, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.